think I'm live now. Not sure. In any case, hi. I'm Matse007, and this is Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island. Yeah, I'm gonna show any person, and I have someone who's helping me out with commentary, and he's gonna introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Barari. I also run this game.
Alright, before we even start the run, one very important question: which character model did win?
What you've got on screen is what is correct. We're going to be playing as Sonic the Hedgehog today.
Perfect. That is just perfect, because we are really going fast.
Oh boy.
Just... Alright. So, speaking about a sad thing, yeah. We are currently, starting a fresh new save file, so we do nothing. But however, the time doesn't start until we start moving. So I can already start in the game, and we don't start the timer. So right before we even start, frame rates are important. The game is always kept to 100 FPS, and we're gonna abuse a pretty broken mechanic in this game, or well, glitch, feature, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna count down from to 3, and 3, 2, 1, and then start. And yeah, once that is, we start the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is Skylar and Plux, any person, and yeah, bunny hopping is a thing, and yeah, it breaks the game. You go super fast.
Way too fast.
Yeah, the way how it works is the game, well, there are two things that are happening at the same time. So first of all, we can do strafe jumps, which you know from different Source games mostly, or well, maybe Counter-Strike if you played that. However, it works a little bit different. So if you hold forward to the left and forward to the right, so WA or WD, you gain momentum. It builds up every time. Yeah, it just constantly keeps building up. Why it is like that is unknown. However, you can gain more speed if you chain it with bunny hops, because every time you hit the ground, you have a few frames or like a short moment to actually keep jumping and don't lose speed. If you do it too late or too early, you might just lose a little bit speed, or you just completely drop it at all. And yeah, we're using bunny hopping to get through the entire game pretty much.
Yes, and currently we're doing the first quote-unquote level before we get to the hub world. Matse just did the tutorial level where he collected some collectibles, which we'll need for one paywall coming up. This section has a bit of rough terrain, so it can be quite difficult to bunny up through, but once you get it, it's really nice.
And there, actually we go so fast that the game can't keep up. So the game will, well, these enemies, we need to destroy them in order to progress and free this giant marshmallow. However, if we are too fast, the game just doesn't load them until a little bit later. But we can force reload the last checkpoint and skip this entirely, which is pretty cool.
And there we go, into World 1.
Alright, World 1 is, well, the thing is, there are two things that are great in this game. The first thing is bunny hopping, and the fact that you can scale up on so many surfaces in this game and skip so many things. Just like that. And with that, I got a very tight... yeah, that was very tight. I was a little bit late for that cycle. And we used the momentum we gain by the piston to just jump over this ledge. And we basically skipped the first third of this level. And yeah, we grabbed the jetpack. It's an optional, well, in the game itself it's not optional, but for speedrunning it is optional. However, in any person it is really fast. As you can see with the jetpack, you can do some crazy stuff and gain a lot of height. Also, there are a few glitches that are only possible thanks to the jetpack.
Yes, the jetpack is going to help us immensely climbing the mountain, which is what we're doing right now. goal is to get on top of the mountain, but we can do that in any way we want. You know, we don't need to follow the game's conventions. We're speedrunners.
Exactly, because thanks to bunny hopping once again, we can go out of bounds. We use the momentum we got there to just go out of bounds and then scale up with the jetpack and further bunny hopping. And oh, excuse me, I actually have a broken spacebar, so this happens sometimes, which is unfortunate, but it's happening.
It's okay.
Exactly. I have pre-planned for this. Alright, so if you fail in an out of bounds section, or if you generally fall into a liquid, get hit, and forcefully respawn somewhere else on the map, the game puts you on the last position you were standing still, but out of bounds doesn't count really, so it places you before the entire out of bounds section. And I had to do this really quickly again, but it's not too bad.
Luckily you're pretty fast, so you get there fast enough.
Because Sonic is extremely fast. And yeah, with that we skipped the second and the third basically of the level, and there was a huge part of this level that we didn't even look at. And this is the first fuse. To explain a little bit, we need fuses in order to finish the game. The story is a little bit convoluted, but basically the giant marshmallow tells us that we need to collect the fuses. And in each world there's one. And we need 3 to beat the game, or well, to access the final boss to beat the game.
And right now we're heading into World 2, which is Classic Desert. It's actually a really fun level though, because in the beginning here, it's just a section where you go fast. It's just straight ahead platforming. If you build enough speed, you just zoom right through it for the first half.
Basically, you can bunny hop through everything here in this level. And I dropped my bunny hop sadly, so I'm a little bit slow, but still very fast. Alright, with that being skipped, I collect the second objective and use another nice glitch. So we're not supposed to move in this cutscene, but it figures when you tap out and tap back in, you can just move in a cutscene.
Yeah, that's pretty great. This allows for some pretty interesting tricks and movement.
For example, moving in a cutscene.
Yeah, and Matse did that currently to grab a swing node and just get a quick, go ahead to continue the level.
Yeah, why
we'll see a lot more of that later.
The funny thing is how we discovered this. So basically it was, we have a few, I think we have a total of 4 unskippable cutscenes, or technically we had 5, but we found a way to skip the 5th one. And figures, some people, well, when there was a cutscene going on, because the game doesn't pause when you tab out, people just tabbed out, including myself, when cutscenes were going on. Like this one we're about to see, and yeah, when tabbing back in, I noticed that you can move. So when I tap out, I can just move. I'm doing some inputs currently to, there's sometimes that the camera is screwed up and your character isn't aligned properly in a cutscene. Also, do you want to talk about what I just picked up earlier?
Yes, so when we moved in the first cutscene, Matse picked up a time orb power-up. It allows us to slow time for a little bit, which we're currently using to go back through time to do these puzzles and grow this tree so we can get to the second fuse. The time orb we will be abusing for the last boss, but otherwise it's not really that necessary.
Only for this puzzle. It would work similar to if you played Skyward Sword, the desert, like back in time area
yes,
segments.
the time shift stones.
Exactly, thank you. It has been a very long time since I played Skyward Sword, but it's a great game. Anyway,
It really is.
So more cutscenes that we can't skip, but we can move through them. But this one is a little bit trickier. The next one is extremely difficult. So this one is still doable, but the one after this is very difficult. And I expect that to happen. As I said, this is not that easy.
It happens, man.
Yeah, it happens.
It's kind of funny how all these like stages of the tree climbing, how it gets gradually more difficult for each cutscene movement.
Yeah, and originally people did not even do them because they were too hard. Now everyone is just doing them.
Except the last one. Last one no one has done in a run yet.
Yeah,
People can do it, but not very consistently.
it's very difficult.
So that one we're not going to be attempting.
Yeah. And once again, about the abilities. In theory, you need all of the abilities for the final boss. No, but actually you just need one for the final boss from the 3 abilities you unlock in this game. Like, the time slow orb is a bonus thing, basically. It's nice to have, but it's definitely not necessary. Oh, what I forgot to say is the game actually sets your checkpoint when you fall down. Like after cutscene, if you fall down and happen to land in water while being in a cutscene, you softlock. Because you respawn just above the water and keep respawning there.
Yeah, it's a big risk factor on doing that third jump. You can accidentally softlock, unfortunately.
Technically, this is a not marathon save, but as I'm consistent at it, it's marathon save. Somewhat consistent, at least. All right. So that is well 2 done, and we
One more to go.
Yeah, exactly. The last world is coming up, and with that, we're gonna show off also finally why the jetpack is so good, because there are a few glitches and tricks you can do with the jetpack. So I haven't used the jetpack really a lot outside of well, hovering, gaining a little bit. Oh yeah, it has a hover, by the way. We didn't talk about that. Can hover, but you can like charge up a rocket jump that you jump higher. However, there's another thing. If you move while using your jetpack, so like this, you do roll. This roll has some special properties, like this. So normally I should be staggered. I should be staggered and reset at the last point where I stood still before getting hit. But the roll animation kind of overrides that staggering animation, and with that, you can just get hit and you just don't get staggered. And because the game checks after the fade out which one was the last position you stood on, it realizes, oh, I stood below the liquid, so I'm just gonna respawn you there. And now I'm gonna do a trick called hammer skip.
Yeah, a bit convoluted because there's a skip later where we skip another really annoying room. So hammer skip was a skip we found for this, and this is a skip for this that can theoretically be faster, but it's a bit difficult. But Matse really prefers it, and I can see why. It's really precise because you have to get, I think it's same frame input on both jump and jetpack to like override animations and get the extra jump height you need to get up.
Yeah, it's a very difficult trick. Funnily enough, when I practiced this right before the run, I had no problems getting this.
Yeah, essentially it's just pressing the 2 keys together until you get up. It's a really new trick, so it's not been super mastered yet. But
there we go.
Get up there. Yeah, nice.
Alright, I'm gonna take a safety checkpoint, and there's some lag because the game loads here. So, while I'm moving a little bit further, taking a safety checkpoint, is there a donation?
Is there a donation, he asks. I would say yes. We've got a pretty sizable one. A little someone named Anonymous just sent $200 our way.
Wow.
Whoa.
And that donation doesn't even have a comment, but they've put it towards a bunch of our upcoming incentives. First and foremost, $100 towards the Legends of Zelda's Link's Awakening bonus category for the Color Dungeon, which takes us to $130 out of the $150 that we need for that. He also puts, he or she, I should say, we don't know, right? They also put $10 towards saving the animals in our Super Metroid Any Percent, which is now winning, basically. It's $10 to $5, the save to kill ratio. And then they must be a big fan of Yakuza 6 because they just closed out 2 incentives for that game. First off, the rugby baby scene, which is always an entertaining scene to watch, and the special bonus fight for Joe Amon. So both of those are now met. So thank you so very much for that incredibly generous $200 donation.
Nice.
Wow, it's super generous.
Thank you. So I got a very hard trick there done. So as I already previously shown, you can go through out of bounds and don't get staggered by liquids. And with that, you can skip a good chunk of this level and skip some puzzles you have to do. I got it, and then I jumped into a death trigger, which is unfortunate, but it sometimes happens. So
That's why we grabbed that safety checkpoint.
exactly. Okay, that actually never happened to me before. All right, yeah, you grab this safety checkpoint. Despite me having one extra heart, I wanted to make sure in case I either fail it or exactly what happens. I'm prepared, but yeah. So there's another small cutscene here that we can skip. And we also introduced two fans, which are not really that relevant. And yeah. Also, by the way, this is the big evil guy factory. And at least, hey, the enemies spawn. So this is a gauntlet. The magnet is useful for this as well. You can just take the robot and shoot the small robots.
That's pretty much what we're gonna try and use the robots against each other, get through this gauntlet. There's a couple of gauntlet sections in the game where you just have to kill enemies. Sometimes they can slow, sometimes they can fast. Just have to get through them. And then after that, it's the final sequence of this world before the boss.
Yeah. So I wasn't optimally positioned, but it's fine either way. So we carried this through the entire world pretty much. And with this is the wrecking ball. We have to hit the factory thingy or touch it, and all just blows up. And now we have an escape sequence. So we have to escape from this factory, but we do it on our own terms. So normally you're not supposed to walk this way, but it's faster, of course, so we do it like that. And yeah, now we're supposed to use these fans and scale up all the way through there, but what we can do instead is use the momentum. Oh, failed this one. So ground pound down, use the momentum we gain from this fan, and just get pushed up. And
Nice.
now this is the last cutscene I'm gonna move in. So in here you might have seen a glimpse of me. I'm just gonna start using my magnet and my spin attack to clear out as many enemies as possible, because the less enemies we have there, the faster it will be to clear out, because it, as I said, it's another gauntlet, so we just destroy everything. So now I'm trying to walk back, and I got it. Nice. So
Nice job.
So now I have cleared out a good portion of the enemies, and only a few are left. And
Speeds it up pretty well.
yep, I'm gonna skip cutscenes, another cutscene, and then we're done with World 3. And right up ahead is the final boss.
Alright, so I'm just gonna say, time is gonna be when the boss health bar goes to 0 and the screen fades to black.
Exactly.
Make sure it's when the screen fades to black, because sometimes it can bug and he's still alive with 0 health.
Yeah, it's a feature. Alright, so now we are back on the space station where we started the game, but yeah, now we're here to find the final boss. So I'm using the jetpack, triggering the final boss from below, and this is CRT, the Celestial Rule of Totality. It's a joint TV. Yeah, this is the only reason why we need the magnet. We use the magnet here to hit him with the rocket, and now I'm using the time orb and doing some precise jump attacks. And if I'm lucky, I can one-cycle him. If not, it's not a one-cycle. Oh, nice. Time.
Nice, congrats.
That was surprising, because I expected to fail to get everything, but not one-cycle him. I'm gonna just skip really quickly through this, because I do not want to spoil this epic story. The game looked a little bit weird, but it's actually incredibly fun to play. It's sadly very short, but it's not that expensive, if I recall correctly. So if you
Yeah,
want to play
around.
it, give it a shot at one point. Also, it's on sale off pretty often. And the community is hella fun. The people are really great. Thank you again, Barari, for commentating with me and
It's
helping
my
me out.
pleasure.
And yeah, if you want to learn this game, you can join the Discord. There are many resources there. We have a YouTube tutorial series, which is, I think, mostly up to date. I think it is still up to date. And yeah, everyone in there is really nice and helpful. And yeah, it's been a blast running this. Do we still have a little bit of time, actually?
By all means.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna go quickly. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. First of all, thanks some other people. Thanks for the Boop Troop. Shoutouts to them. Cool people there. Yeah. As of that, the devs are really cool, and yeah. The worst part about this game, or well, the best part, whatever you like, this is one of those. Actually, now we are on 6 cutscenes that you can't skip because the final credits cannot be skipped at all. So,
Oh no.
what you can do, however, is a feature called pressing Alt F4, and that skips the cutscene. All jokes aside, the only thing I wanted to show off really quickly is about that the final boss is, we have like few holy grails in the game, and one of the holy grails is maybe accessing the final boss a little bit early if it's possible, and it figures it's not unrealistic. Well, yeah, it's not that unrealistic, but at the same time we still have a few other requirements we need. But to just quickly go back to the save file and show you in the final boss area, if I'm really quickly going there, it's all around his final boss area there. We have this liquid, so what we can do here as well is just roll down and land out of bounds. And this is the space station actually also from the tutorial, and you can actually access the very first area of the tutorial from this area as well. So in theory,
baby.
in theory, if we scale up one day, if we find a way to get up all the way, maybe, who knows. Anyway, thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of the marathon. Don't know what is coming up next, but I'm pretty sure it's a banger game. So stay tuned and have fun with the rest of the marathon.
It absolutely is. Coming up next, we've got kind of a mini Kingdom Hearts block with Dissidia Final Fantasy, which was originally an offshoot of the Kingdom Hearts series. And then we're going to have Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep after that. So yeah, absolutely stick around for a pair of amazing games coming up. And thank you so much to Matse for this great not Sonic the Hedgehog run.
I mean, it's almost, it's as colorful, it's as fast as Sonic, so
It's amazing is what it is.
might be recall to Sonic. Oh, dang.
And then this is the end of my reading shift for tonight. So thank you so much for having me and for having me around for this great marathon. I'm going to be handing the mic over to Bowie the Hero here next. So he's going to be coming in and doing some reading for the next few games. But stick around, everybody. We've got a lot more to come. And this is a great relief effort that we are raising money for with Save the Children and their coronavirus relief efforts. So brief intermission. Enjoy the music. And I will see you all tomorrow.